Picture yourself dropped into wilderness right now. No phone, no GPS, no map, just you and the land. How long would you last? Be honest. Most people would struggle within hours, not because they are weak, but because no one ever taught them the things that actually keep a human being alive. Ancient humans knew things you have never been asked to learn. They could read a bent blade of grass and know an animal had passed within hours. They could find water in a landscape that looks completely empty. They memorized hundreds of plants. Which ones healed, which ones fed, which ones killed. They navigated hundreds of kilometers using only the stars. They recognized danger before they could even name what they were sensing. You can order food with 3 taps on a phone, but you probably could not grow it. You use GPS every single day, but people who rely on GPS heavily show a measurably steeper decline in spatial memory over time. You rent a home you did not build. You wear clothes made by people you will never meet. This video is not about technology being bad. It is about what you lost without ever being asked. The brain inside your skull right now is the same brain ancient humans carried into the wilderness 300,000 years ago. Genome analysis published in the Journal of Human Genetics found that ancient humans were not measurably inferior in intelligence to modern humans. The hardware did not change. What changed was how it was used. Ancient humans did not scroll through information, they carried it. All of it, inside their heads. If they forgot something important, they did not lose a file. They lost a meal, or their life. Australian Aboriginal peoples developed a memory system called songlines that encoded entire landscapes into songs passed down without written language for over 50,000 years. Researchers documented that Aboriginal Australians could navigate hundreds of kilometers of desert without error using these encoded memory paths. Early European anthropologists could not understand how it was possible because they were looking for paper. And the answer was never on paper. Today, you have probably forgotten the phone number of someone you love. Not because you are forgetful, because your phone stores it. And once the phone stores something, your brain quietly stops bothering. Technology did not make you smarter. It made you more comfortable. And comfortable and capable are not the same thing. Ancient humans paid attention to their world in a way most modern people have never had to. Not because they were more curious, because the cost of not paying attention was death. A hunter who misread the direction of the wind walked directly into the animal's nose. The hunt failed. The group went hungry. Their survival depended on continuous, accurate observation of everything around them. The angle of the sun, the behavior of birds, the weight of the air before rain. All of it incoming, none of it tuned out. Now think about your own daily life. Can you name the phase of the moon visible tonight? Do you notice when the birds go silent before a storm? That silence is a survival signal older than language itself. Ancient humans read it automatically. Most people today walk through it without registering a thing. Ancient humans lived inside their environment. They were part of it, the way a fish is part of water. Modern humans increasingly experience the natural world as content, not something to belong to. Hunter-gatherer groups typically ranged from 25 to 150 people. British anthropologist Robin Dunbar identified 150 as the cognitive limit for meaningful human social relationships. Your brain was built for that group, not for 1,000 followers, for 150 people whose faces you know. In that world, your emotional intelligence was not a nice quality to have. It was a survival skill. You could not log off when a conversation became difficult. You could not ghost someone you would share a fire with every night for the rest of your life. The cave did not have an exit option. You had to read people accurately. You had to repair relationships directly. Ancient humans were face to face with each other every single day. Modern humans increasingly live screen to screen. And the difference is not just preference, it is biological. Loneliness is now classified as a public health crisis in multiple countries. This is happening while humans are more digitally connected than at any point in history. The ancient brain was built for warmth. The screen is a substitute, and the ancient brain knows the difference. Ancient humans waited for things in ways that are almost impossible to imagine now. A hunt could take an entire day, sometimes 2. They endured cold, heat, hunger, and deep uncertainty without being able to make any of it stop. They sat with boredom, with silence, with not knowing what tomorrow would bring, and they did it without a single device to escape into. Think about the last time you sat in genuine stillness. Not meditating with an app. Just sitting, with nothing. For most people, that lasts about 40 seconds before the hand reaches for the phone. Every time a notification interrupts boredom before it can form, your nervous system is being trained to find stillness intolerable. Ancient humans trained their patience every single day because survival gave them no alternative. Modern life trains you in the opposite direction, and the training is working. Ancient humans exercised their minds through constant real-world problem solving. Modern humans often exhaust their minds through overstimulation. Not from thinking hard, from consuming constantly. None of this is an argument against modern life. Modern medicine extended average human life expectancy from roughly 35 years to over 70 globally. Modern sanitation and antibiotics saved hundreds of millions of lives. These are real achievements, but every convenience changes behavior, and behavior repeated long enough changes ability. People who used GPS heavily over 3 years showed a steeper decline in spatial memory than those who navigated without it. The brain changed. Calculators did not make you better at mathematics. They made calculation faster while your mental arithmetic quietly fell away. Search engines did not improve your memory. They replaced it. Why remember something when you can search it in 4 seconds? The brain asks that question automatically and then quietly reassigns the storage. You became more technologically capable while becoming less self-sufficient than any human generation before you. And most people made that trade without knowing they were making it. Your brain did not evolve for the world you are living in. It evolved for small tribes, physical threat, constant movement, and deep social interdependence. It was built to scan for threats constantly, not to have an off switch. Which is why you cannot stop scrolling. Each new item on the feed registers as potential threat information that needs to be assessed. The feed never ends, and so the scanning never ends. When a stranger dismisses you online, your brain responds with the same threat chemistry it would have used if a member of your tribe had publicly rejected you. Because to the ancient brain, those two events are identical. When you feel mentally exhausted after a day of sitting still, your brain evolved to process information while your body was moving. Separating the two creates a mismatch it was never designed to handle. Your body is here in the modern world, but much of your brain still belongs to the ancient one. It is still scanning for predators, still craving the warmth of a small group around a fire, still waiting for a silence that never arrives. Ancient humans were not smarter because of what they had. They were more capable because of what they were required to do. Every single day, memory, because there was no external storage. Patience, because survival gave no faster option. Awareness, because the cost of missing something was your life. Cooperation, because isolation meant death. These were not virtues they cultivated. They were requirements that got practiced until they became nature. Modern humans built tools powerful enough to remove those requirements, and removing the requirement eventually removed the capability. You gained convenience, you gained safety. And in exchange, you handed over certain parts of yourself that took 300,000 years to build. Not all at once, gradually, invisibly, one outsourced function at a time. Somewhere inside your brain, the ancient human is still there. Still carrying the map, still reading the wind, still listening for the birds to go silent, waiting for a world that no longer exists, wondering why this one feels so loud and so empty at the same time. If this video made you feel something uncomfortable about your own daily life, that is exactly what it was supposed to do. Tell me in the comments, what is one thing you rely on that you know you could not do without? Subscribe to Akura, because next time, we go somewhere just as quietly disturbing.